And it is good to worship the King this morning. Amen. Good to see all of you. You're looking really well. Summary. You know, when the temperature hits 11 degrees in Northern Ireland, that's the key for most people to get out the white trousers, cotton vests. And that's only the men, by the way, as well. But it's great to see you. It's good to be together. And, you know, we always say that, probably the right thing to say, of course, but it's good you're here this morning. It's good we're here together this morning. But I want to say this to you. Here's why it's good you're here this morning. Because this meeting matters. This service matters, folks. Honestly, just this service, this meeting that we're in, that we've been in, that we're continuing in, it matters. We know it matters to God. We know it matters to Him. He's led so much in His Word to say that it matters when His people come together. It matters to Him. It matters that you're here this morning to Him. Believe it or not, this meeting also matters to the devil. He takes seriously what is going on here. And we need to be convinced of that and understand that as well. And it ought to matter to us. It ought to matter to you. It ought to matter to me. And I just want to take all of that together for a short period of time, just to bring you something this morning that I've called Today Matters. Today matters. And I put this together during the week. It's just a short message. But let me read from Psalm 90 and verse 1. Psalm 90, it's a psalm of Moses. Moses actually wrote this psalm. Psalm 90. And let's just read these few verses together. Moses said, Lord, you have been our dwelling place in all generations. Before the mountains were brought forth, or ever you have formed the earth and the world, even from everlasting to everlasting, you are God. You turn man to destruction, and say, return, O children of men. For 1,000 years in your sight are like yesterday when it is past, and like a watch in the night. You carry them away like a flood. They are like asleep, and in the morning they are like grass which grows up. In the morning it flourishes and grows up. In the evening it is cut down and withers. For we have been consumed by your anger, and by your wrath we are terrified. You set our iniquities before you, our secret sins in the light of your countenance. For all our days have passed away in your wrath. We finish our years like a sigh. The days of our lives are 70 years, and if by reason of strength they are 80 years, yet your boast is only labour and sorrow, for it is soon cut off and we fly away. Who knows the power of your anger? For it is the fear of you, so is your wrath. And then Moses says this in verse number 12. So teach us to number our days, that we may gain a heart of wisdom. And may the Lord just bless what we have read together. Will you bow your head for a moment as we acknowledge our need of the Lord? And Father, it's not a habit that we pray before we speak here. We're just saying we're nothing without you. We're just saying we need you. You've been here. It's been wonderful. And Lord, we're praying, will you just continue now as we have opened your word, as we begin to look into it, will you come and breathe on it and breathe on us and do something in us today and through us today that would be profitable not only for us, but for this community and this city and this very country that you've placed us these days. Let your light shine today. The entrance of your word brings light. And Lord, we pray to that end this morning, giving you the praise and giving you the glory in the name of Jesus. Amen. Just for a few minutes, just want to bring you something that I've called Today Matters. Today Matters. And please, brothers and sisters, just as we continue here, try and think about that for a moment. Try and just open your mind and heart to the truth of that statement this morning. Today actually matters. Amen. Today matters. Today matters to God. He has allowed in His sovereign right and will, He has allowed you and I together to live today. And it matters to Him. He has something for us today. He's something for us to receive. And I think as well He wants to receive something from us. And it matters to Him. He has a purpose for you today and something for you today. Today matters to God. But today also matters to the devil. That's why he will oppose people today. That's why he will attack people today. Maybe you've never thought like this before, but the devil has plans for today. He wants to take lives today. He's planting thoughts even right now as we sit in our church this morning. The devil is working. The devil is busy. Today matters to the devil. Today should also matter to us. The Bible says you do not know what a day will bring forth. And that's a powerful understanding, but I don't think we always should take it in the negative either. You know, we do not know what a day will bring forth. Yes, bad perhaps, or trials, or whatever else, but there's also another side. We don't know what God will do today, because He has plans, and today matters. Today matters to God, and that's why today matters. I want us to think about verse 12 of the short psalm that we have read together. Moses, the man of God, says, "So teach us." And he's praying to the Lord here. He's directing his words primarily to the Lord. Although they have been preserved for us and come home to us this morning, Moses says to God, "So teach us to number our days, that we may gain a heart of wisdom." Teach us, Moses says to the Lord. Lord, teach us, teach me to number our days, that we might gain that heart of wisdom. And it's really this idea, if you like, this idea of numbering our days that I want us to think about for another little while. So teach us to number our days, that we may gain a heart of wisdom. What does it mean to number your days? You know, it means to value them. It means to value them. Teach us, Moses says, to number each day. And the heart of that is to value it. To understand the value in a day, in every day. You know, numbering something is like a person counting their valuable possessions that mean everything to them. If it's someone who collects artifacts or memorabilia or material things, you know, if you talk to them, they can tell you exactly how many of those things they possess because they value them. I think there's a need for us to do that with every day the Lord has given to you and me. Because you know what, folks? The greatest possession any of us have today is actually called time. And that is a great, great gift. Psalm 118 and verse 24 says, "This is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it." This is the day that the Lord has made. It's not through coincidence. You're not living today by chance. You're not here this morning by accident. God has made something. It's a day for you. It's a day for me to come together. This is the day the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. This particular day that the psalmist is talking about is the day when the Messiah would ride into Jerusalem. And they looked forward to that day and said, it's a day that stands out. It's a pinnacle day. It's a day to remember. But we must always remember the Lord has made every day. And He's done so for a reason. Some days are blessed days that we would call blessed. And others are days of trials and testings and difficulty. But God is in them all. God is in every day. And that's why they matter. That's why today matters, brothers and sisters. So often we can forget that. But Moses said, Lord, teach us to number our days, that we might gain that heart of wisdom. Surely its intended meaning is to value today. Today matters. Value it, even cherish it. Today is valuable because it brings with it opportunities. This is what we need to see as well. Today is valuable because of the opportunities it gives to you and gives to me. When Moses said, teach us to number our days, it means make them count. So he's numbering something. And another meaning here we can take is make each day count. Value it, yes, but more than that, go deeper even. Make it count, brothers and sisters. So often we can get so seduced in our secular culture that we're just going along with the flow like everyone else is. Listen, we're different as Christians this morning. We've got a different destiny. We've got a different destination. But listen, we have a different purpose in our very souls today. And we ought to try with all that we have to make today count. You know, today matters. It matters to God, and it matters to the devil. God has plans for today to save people. It's not exciting, by the way. God has plans to save people. Even before we woke in our northern hemisphere, sort of springtime and coming into British summertime, and all over the world, people of God were meeting, and God was working all over the world today. Saving people, reaching them, redeeming them, delivering them, healing them. Today matters to God. God has plans for today. Isn't that wonderful? God has set something for today. And you and I are here in the People's Church at this time. And folks, listen, it matters. This service matters that you're in. We're not just breezing in and breezing out. This meeting matters this morning. It matters that you're here. It means so much to God that you're here. But today also matters to Satan. He will be busy today. You need to understand that, folks. You're going to hear tomorrow what Satan had planned for today, the lives of people. You need to waken up to that, even as Christians. He won't give up in his quest to hinder people or destroy them. And today should matter to all of that, should matter to us. That it matters to God, that it matters to the devil. All of that should matter to you and I. The Bible instructs us, and I think this is in keeping in the New Testament, in Ephesians 5 and verse 16. And here's what it says to Christians, like you and me, and it's been preserved for you and me today. Here's what it says: redeem the time, because the days are evil. Redeem the time, because the days are evil. Buy back the time. The English Standard Version puts it like this: make the best use of the time, because the days are evil. Make each day count. Making the best use of the time. Of course, the next question would be, how can we best do that? And I think, as Christians, we need to see it's by taking our opportunities. Today matters because of the opportunities that comes with it. Every single day, whether good or bad, whether sunshine or snow, but every single day gives to you and to me the tremendous opportunity, brothers and sisters, listen to this, every day, no matter what it comes, sunshine or snow, no matter how you estimate it, overarching all of that is the great truth. We have an opportunity today to worship God. To worship God. And I'll tell you folks, that's a big thing. That's a big thing. We need to really understand what worship to God really means. Pastor George put it well as he was leading us at the Lord's table. Not just with our lips, but with our lives. To worship God. What an opportunity. There's no better, no greater opportunity than to worship God. You see, when we worship God, we get close to Him. When you worship God, when you engage, and you've got a choice, and I have a choice. We come into church this morning, there's a platform here, these wonderful musicians and this great praise team are leading us, and a platform for us to worship God. Whether you engage in it or not, it's up to you. Whether you connect to it or not, it's up to you. Whether you let your mind drift, it's up to you. But there's an opportunity here of getting near to God. There's a place here this morning where you can connect with Him in a way that's very, very special. In the congregation of the assembly, when the Lord's people come together with purpose of heart. And Jesus said, when that happens, I'm going to be there in a powerful way. And what an opportunity, what a thrill today to worship God. And people get this so wrong. And, you know, the critics of the Christian faith have said, well, that's kind of a very self-centered thing for this celestial being who sits up there in the clouds and says, right, folks, worship me. I crave that worship. And I said, well, isn't that in itself just sinful or selfish? This celestial being that we are meant to love as Christians is saying, well, give me, I demand your worship. I demand your worship. No, that's not it at all. He is worthy to be worshipped this morning. He is worthy to be praised and adored. And not only that, He's the only one who's worthy. Because of who He is. That's where it starts, who He is. And not only that, because of what He's done. There was something in church this morning. Our God has wounds. Come on, think about it. Our God has wounds. I came to me recently. Oh, people worship everything. Anything. We're made that way. But we need to worship the right one. And our God is the only God who has wounds. He showed His love. He laid down His life. He was wounded for our transgressions. And there's philosophical gods. There's the gods that people follow in the Far East and all of this, on and on and on. Ours is the only God this morning who has wounds. And He's worthy to be praised. And today is an opportunity for you and I to worship Him, not just with our lips, with our minds, our bodies, our abilities, our time. And remember, when you worship, you get close to Him. When you get close to Him, you get to know Him. When you get to know Him is to love Him. It's an old song. It's very wonderful, and it never, if you've caught it, it'll never leave you. It just says, the longer I serve Him, the sweeter He grows. The more that I love Him, more love He bestows. And you know, that really is the case. And here we are together in church this morning, and it really matters. It really matters. certainly matters that you're here, but it's even more than that. It matters how you're here. He wants all of your heart today. He is worthy of all of our focus. Here's an opportunity to worship. But today matters because it's also a chance to witness, folks. And I feel bound to say, tonight matters. Tonight matters. Today matters, and tonight matters, because there's a great outreach here tonight, and it's very, very important, and it matters, folks. The gospel matters, because people are dying without Jesus Christ. And I know you can argue and say, well, the gospel is everywhere, and rationale, the gospel, it is, but there's a definitive meeting here tonight where we can bring people under the assurance that we know something. The gospel of Jesus Christ will be proclaimed here tonight. Christ will be centered on here tonight. Hope will be offered here tonight. And the power of God will be here tonight. Let's give God the glory for this miracle. It matters. The witness of the gospel matters. And today matters. Tonight matters. And it matters where you are tonight. It matters where we are tonight. Paul said something about time and connection with witness in Colossians chapter 4 and verse 5. Walk in wisdom, he said, toward those who are outside, redeeming the time. Walk in wisdom regarding and toward those who are outside, redeeming the time. It means to act wisely, to conduct yourself rightly before those who are without the Lord, because every day we are a witness to those outside of Jesus. Whether it be our family members, our friends, our colleagues, our neighbours, or strangers, they're all watching us. They're all looking, and I know sometimes Christians can say, well, I'm not good at witnessing. I don't really engage in witnessing. Listen, we witness for Jesus Christ whether we know it or not. You're a witness. Once you've taken his name, you're a witness. Once you've told that family member, I'm now a Christian, you've started to be a witness, and they're starting to watch you. We witness all the time. Witness with our lives. Some people say, well, I can't witness, I'm not good at it. But we witness something every day about the Lord. It's a good thing to remember that every day we promote him. And folks, it matters. Because people are looking on. If we're wise, we'll realize that and number our days. Make them count. Make them matter in the right way. Because it's an opportunity to witness. God might use you today. And listen, you might have heard this before. You might know this, but maybe you haven't engaged in it in a while either. Why don't you even ring someone today? Why don't you even invite someone this afternoon? You say, I'll never come. You don't know what a day will bring. And say, I'm going to the meeting tonight. And I'd love you to come with me. I'm going to go there, and I don't know, for some reason, you came into my mind. Would you come as well? Someone maybe who doesn't know the Lord. Folks, you don't know what their answer would be. You don't know what that person is thinking at that moment in time. But here, it matters. Today matters because of its opportunities. Will you say a good amen? Will you say a good amen if you understand that? There's an opportunity here. Tonight matters. Matters to God. And folks, it does matter to the devil. It ought to matter to us. Just to finish up, I just want to give you something to think about. That's what this message is about. But just let me leave you with this. Today also matters because it brings us the opportunity to walk with God. You know, how exciting that is, by the way. That is the essence of the Christian faith. Jesus Christ came to redeem us, that we could walk with God once more. Who knows where he'll take you today? Who knows where He may lead us this coming week? Who knows what He may do? Just walking with God is the whole center of the Christian experience. Ministry is secondary. Working for God is secondary. It's all about walking with God every day. Micah, the book of Micah, chapter 6 and verse 8 says, He has shown you what is good. And what does the Lord require of you? Listen to this. What does the Lord require of you? But to do justly, to love mercy. Listen to this. To do justly, love mercy, and walk humbly with your God. That's what the Lord requires. And by the way, when you know He's actually walking with you, it is humbling. You're not arrogant, you're humble. You're confident in Him, but you're humble in the flesh. What a blessing it is, but also how challenging. We need to be careful where we go if He's walking with us. We need to be careful what we do if we believe He's walking with us. There might be places where your flesh is driving you into that He doesn't want to go if He's walking with us. Folks, honestly, sometimes we need to stop and say, is He pleased where I'm going? Is He pleased with what I'm about to do here? Because He's walking with me. It's exciting, yes, but it's challenging too. Walking with God today, it matters. And if you rise tomorrow morning and He gives you another day, it matters. Amen. And one day, it's going to be your last day. And if you're His this morning, yes, you have your weaknesses. Yes, you're weak and all of that, but He knows that. But in your heart, you love Him. Your heart is stayed on Him. You're going to have a last day. And you know what's going to happen? You're going to keep walking with Him. Because He's going to lead you somewhere to the house of the Lord forever. And it matters. You know what matters this morning? If you have this in your heart or not. Because I started all of us by saying, today matters. And here's the truth, without exaggeration. This could be the greatest day of your life if you don't know Jesus Christ. Because this is the day when you can open yourself to Him. And may God give you the mercy to do that. In Jesus' name. Let's pray. Amen.